Welcome to the Generation Elevation podcast, a conscious, connected platform for those who are ready to manifest their dream life. I'm your host, Elise Riley, a former PT, now motivational speaker, igniting empowerment and transformation all across the globe. Here at Generation Elevation, we are committed to bringing you the most inspiring guests who will share their stories, wisdom, and advice to help you progress closer to living a life of your own terms.
Alrighty fam, it is that time of the year where we set intentions, we set goals, and we then set the pace for the new year. And I promise you, this ain't gonna be some classic cliche, here's how to set goals for the new year and have your resolutions. It's not gonna be like that. So if you're about to switch off and be like, oh, I've heard it all before. Nope, you haven't heard it all before. I'm going to take you through a ritual that I have used to say goodbye to the old, say goodbye to the past, see you later 2023, so that you can embrace and open and allow those new doors that are just waiting for you to be opening them and stepping through for this new 2024. So stay tuned. If you are new here to Generation Elevation, I want to say hello. It is so cool to have you here. And if you're an OG, you know I love you. You know I love all of you. And I'm so grateful to have you all here with me today. It is the last day of the year. I'm recording batch episodes. I just did a bonus episode on the 23 lessons that I have gone through this year. And I get pretty vulnerable. I get pretty, vulnerable is the word I'm going to use. And I am so excited for you to hear that. It's very powerful. So if you have not listened to that episode, go listen to it right now after you listen to this one, of course, because it's all about the new year and setting intentions. And I really had a very growth induced year. So it is a pleasure to have you all here with me as always. Now, like I said, it's not going to be a classic, so you're going to set goals and here's how to not self-sabotage and blah, blah, blah. Like that is so boring. So I want to start off by teaching you the ritual that I use to say goodbye to the past, and then I'm going to take you through how I set intentions for the new, because we got to cut those energetic cords. We got to clear out the old oogie boogie energy that is clinging on to us and trying to keep us in that low vibration, because when we're in a low vibration, we're going to blame, we're going to complain, we're going to justify, and we're not going to manifest the life that we want. So we want to manifest amazingness for this new year, and that is why you're here right now listening to this show, and that's why I'm going to share it with you, because I want everyone to just live that 10 out of 10 life in this new year. So what I actually did and started off doing for my ritual is personifying the year of 2023. So even if you're not listening to this at this specific time, like in 2029, this episode will most likely still be here. So know that that's okay. You can do this for literally any sort of period of time of your life, but we're going to do it for this year because we're at this current time. And hello, if you're listening from the future, that's actually really cool. So I personified the year of 2023 and actually wrote a letter to it. And apparently my intuition is like, you're going to read them the letter. So I'm going to read them the letter. I'm going to avoid talking about any names in here. So let's just see how we go. But anyway, I personified the year and wrote a letter to it saying goodbye, letting go of anything that is no longer serving me. I also wrote things that I'm grateful for, and then a little bit of intentions that I've set for 2024. So let me just read you this letter so you get the gist. So when you write your letter, you have an idea of what to say. Dear 2023, you have been beautiful in your own way. I'm so grateful for the lessons and learnings I have received this year. This has had to be one of the toughest years of my life. And at the same time, it has initiated me into a strength and persona I never knew that I had or was capable of. This year, I met the depths of the depths, starting the year early in Sydney, dating myself, experiencing new relationships, new love. I started running my elevation events, meeting new people and friends. I was an ambassador for the Magic Group. I ran 4 events. I met people for my podcast that I'd always dreamed of having on my show, i.e. Hattie. I'm going to use that name. That was like on my vision board for a very long time. Love you, Hattie. Working with some of my clients who were dream clients and professional athletes, seeing amazing results in their performance when working with them, speaking at my old school, my confidence, receivership, growth, sexuality, improving so much, working at S30, moving to London, breaking up my new love that I had at the start of the year, going to Croatia, going to Ultra, closing loops of old relationships, Rome, Paris, going on a helicopter ride over London, new spaces where I can run events for the new year, the gym, my beautiful housemate Kylie. I know I said no names, but she's okay with this one, I'm sure. Paul, under the tree. We all know that story by now. Going on specific podcasts that I've always wanted to go on. I don't think I can say which one it is yet because I don't think it's out, but I have been manifesting being on this show for a really long time and they asked me to go on it and I was so excited. Wow, that's a really cool achievement. Just the beautiful generosity of people that I've met at my experience there in London. And I just said, I am so fucking proud of myself, of what I have achieved and accomplished and who I've become. I feel like I am my highest self, or stepping into her at least, that I have one foot in and a little more to go, where in the past she felt so far in the future. But I feel her here now. My gifts and my intuition have improved dramatically. I'm so strong physically. I'm really proud of my physique and the body I've created. This year has been the year of self-love for me. I learnt to love me unconditionally, whether I was achieving or not. I am the happiest I have ever been, and I'm so appreciative of the experiences and journey that I have had living in London. I'm glad my plan didn't work out the way I intended it, because what I've experienced is even better. The path I am on is always getting better and better. That was what I wrote for my letter. And it was really interesting, actually. The other day, I was, whoa, what do I want to say? The other day, I spent Christmas with my family in Melbourne and I went through a couple of old photographs and old vision boards and it made me really emotional, actually. And it was cool because I was looking at these vision boards and what intentions that I had wrote down for what I wanted to achieve and grow into. And it was a lot about embracing the love that I have for myself, embracing my body, and being confident in my beauty, in my light, in myself, saying no when I mean no and saying yes when I mean yes, and standing up for what I believe in, sharing my message, all of these things. They were a lot of the things that I wrote down, working online, like all my goals. And I was looking at these photos and just seeing myself in high school and understanding what I felt in those moments, and just I cried. I really cried because in that point of my life, I was so busy trying to look like everybody else, trying to be skinny like everybody else. And I'm looking back at these photos and thinking, I'm so beautiful. Like, how did I not know that? And it made me so sad to think that some people never realize that in their entire life. And it just made me so clear that I really want to continue to share my journey, to share this experience with everybody that I've gone through, and in the hope that potentially they find that level of love for themselves like I have, because I just couldn't imagine going through the rest of my life feeling the way that I did, because I was looking at these photos and realizing that half of the other people that I was trying to look like were probably too busy trying to look like me. And it was just this kind of beautiful closing loop moment, and I just made a commitment to myself. I'm never going to feel like that ever again. And I continue and always will continue to fully love myself and own my fucking power. So that was really, really cool. That whole trip for me was a little bit just like a closing loop of my childhood and letting go of that old self, that old younger me that needs to rely on people to look after her and needs to always be focusing on her physical appearance. Like, I'm really at this space right now where I don't feel like that. And, you know, my entire high school life, I was always trying to be skinny and always trying to look a certain way and hating on the way that I looked. And London for me, this year for me, has fully just thrown me into the depths of the depths. And from that, I've received this whole new level of love for myself. And it is honestly just so cool. And I want everyone to be able to feel this way, because it's so beautiful to be able to experience this. And I know that the things that I share and the messages that I talk about on my show, I know that if you're here listening to this, it is so possible, and you might be already experiencing it anyway already. However, if you're not, know that it's so possible for you, and I'm your reflection. If I can do it, then so can you. So that was my goodbye message to 2023. I was like, thank you, see you later. Now, here's what I want to let go of, and I apparently am going to read you that too. So if you're taking notes, step 1, personify 2023 and write a letter saying goodbye. Step 2, write a list of all the things that you want to let go of. Here are mine. Any eating habits that aren't serving me. So any remnants, like I've hit that in the bud, like I've nipped it in the bud, as you would say. However, I just want to make sure I keep consistent with that throughout the year, because I would find that, like, when I was stressed, I would overeat, or when I was feeling like lonely, I would eat, and it's like, no, none of that anymore. And I really feel like I don't do that. It's great. It is so freeing, actually. I've literally experienced that for years, and to not be experiencing that is just really freeing. So it's all about mindset. That's what I would say to close that loop. The next thing I wrote down was scarcity talk around money or not having enough. Like, even when I've had enough money, I'd always felt like I'd never had enough. So this really just is a mindset. And this year, I'll talk about intentions in a second, it's going to be totally opposite for me in regards to like the way I speak about money. I'm pretty good with it as it is. However, I know that I could be better. So I wrote down any fear around scarcity talk. Then I also wrote down, I'm letting go of fear around getting left behind or wasting time. I always, my whole life, felt like I needed to hurry to get to where I wanted to be, because I felt like that if I was resting, that I was being lazy, and that I didn't deserve to win if I wasn't working hard enough. And the truth is, like, yes, you must do something to get to where you want to be. Yes, I get that. And at the same time, you can't do everything. That you can actually ask the universe or God or whatever you believe in to help you get there. It is a hack and a cheat code for life. And when you start surrendering to that help, life becomes magic. So that's what I wrote down there. I also wrote down avoiding hard conversations. This year, I'm really proud of myself. I used to suck at communicating. Now I really feel like I can have hard conversations. If something is not feeling right with me, I can bring it up in a way that doesn't cause like conflict, but more so just make sure that I'm heard and being seen in that moment. And whether that's my trigger or whether that is something that I can work on with the other person, like feels so much better to be able to have these hard conversations and know that like I'm safe within myself. And I think the reason why I would avoid hard conversations in the past is because I never felt fully safe within myself. So I felt like if I would to have hard conversations with the people that I loved around me, then who would I be without them? And it's like, well, actually, I am me now, so I can have these conversations. Anyway, I wrote down if I was to like see someone and judge them, letting go of that. Like, not that I do that often. However, like, I'm sure if you're listening to this right now, you can resonate that sometimes you're going to come across people and the first thought is going to be some sort of judgment. And I just want to make sure like I am like 199% on top of my thoughts with that, because if I'm judging someone else, I'm judging myself. They are a mirror of me. In the past, I used to do this all the time. It's like a Virgo nitpicky thing, right? Picking out all imperfections because we want to be perfect. And at the same time, I don't do that very often anymore, like at all. Like since working on my mindset, since elevating my vibration and working on myself, I don't do that. However, I just want to make sure I really don't do that. You know what I mean? And then I also wrote down trying to make everything happen with my mind. Had enough of that. Okay, it's time to rely on energetics because it's a thing. And that's what this year really showed me is the amazingness that life has to offer you when you let it in, when you let life help you. Because for me, I am by human design, a generator, and we just love to hustle and get shit done. We love doing. And at the same time, when you have a mission that is calling your heart forward, it can be a little bit difficult if you're trying to make it happen with your head. So it's important to have balance and trust the inspired action and your connection with spirit for that one, which I can also do in-depth podcasts on if you want me to. I also wrote down letting go of my ties to Australia. Ooh. And that means selling my car, getting rid of a lot of clothes that I no longer need, obviously, because I'm not going to be here. And potentially some relationships. Just letting go of who I was being here because I'm not her anymore. Letting go of not trusting the universe and doubting that it has my back, because the universe, it always has your back, or God or source energy or whatever has always got your back. So that was my list of things that I'm letting go of. So you've got number 1, your goodbye letter. Number 2, what you're letting go of. And number 3, I actually did a tarot spread for what I am bringing in and letting go of for 2024. So if you're into cards and you like that kind of thing, you can definitely do that. However, what I then did for step 3, or 3.5, if you want to count the cards, is I wrote down my goals and intentions for the new year. So I wrote them into different categories. If you think about like the wheel of life, if you're not sure what that means, just go look up wheel of life on Google or DuckDuckGo, and then you'll see a diagram that shows you like different categories. And in personal development events, they usually ask you like, oh, where are you at in life right now? And you would rate yourself from 1 to 10. And so I had a look at my wheel of life and went, okay, well, what are the things that I want to make a 10? What do I want to increase? And you'll notice as you do this personal development journey, what was your 10 could be now your 5 as you grow and elevate, because you realize your circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you step out of your comfort zone time and time again. So the categories are, what are your goals in regards to fun? What are your goals in regards to physical health? What are your goals in regards to mindset and personal development? What are your environment goals? Like, for example, where you live. What are your career and financial goals? What are your relationship goals? And what are your spiritual goals? So I'm going to read out a couple of mine for this new year. It's 12:22 right now. This is perfect timing. Yes. And on the podcast recording, it was 20 minutes and 2 seconds. How cool. Lots of twos. So I'm going to just say a couple from each category for mine, and then that way it can potentially spark some writing points for you. I would recommend writing 5 things for each, okay? So number 1, we're going to start with career. This year, I want to run 5 events before May. I already know where I'm going to do them. I want to start doing more investing in like crypto and EFTs and build my portfolio there. I want to grow my social media, and I want to actually start YouTube. So funny story. I intuitively had a conversation with myself on the plane the other day when I was flying from Melbourne to Gold Coast, and the conversation was, you should get a new phone. And my brain was like, oh, nah, like my phone's fine. And then my intuition was like, but yeah, like you're going to do YouTube and stuff this year, so you should get a new phone because you'll film and it'll be better quality. And I was like, yeah, nah, because I was being stingy. And then I get off the plane and my phone fully shits itself. It's gone. It's died. It's dead. I didn't even drop it. It just passes away. I was like, oh my gosh, did I just manifest that? Or was I just intuitively picking up on the future? Who knows? But anyway, I created it because I wanted a new phone, but I didn't want it to be my fault or responsibility. So then I was like, okay, I'll get a new phone. And then I go to the shops and I realize I don't have a physical card. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get a new phone if I don't have a physical card on me? And my phone is got my card. And then I was like, wait, I'll just message my friends and see if they can pay it for me, and then I'll just transfer. And then I was like, wait, I can't message them because my phone doesn't work. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy right now. And then as I walk out of JB Hi-Fi, which is like a phone store here in Australia, I walk out and I was like, oh my gosh, what a spin out of a day. Walking out, I turned to my left, just look in the window of this nail salon, and there's my beautiful friend Nat getting her nails done. I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? I was literally thinking of her that morning. We then met up. She got me the phone. I was able to transfer her. So I got a new phone, everybody. So funny. And then we spent the day together. It was such like a beautiful intuitive spin out because of course we're both spiritual, hippie, woo-woo loving chicks. And of course we meet like this. It's the best. So that is my story about starting a YouTube channel and doing that all over again, because I did used to do that when I was 14, yay, back in the day. And I also want to do more giveaways next year, and I'm also going to change up my podcast a little bit. I'm going to change the cover photo and the intro music. Don't know when that's happening, but you'll know about it if you listen to this frequently. Okay, next is fun. First thing that come to my mind was shark diving. I was like, that's interesting. Okay, so that. I want to go to Egypt. I want to also go on a hot air balloon, festivals, more theatre. Dubai is also on the cards as well. Kind of like that feeling I had about Paris this year. I know I'll go to Dubai next year and Egypt. My environment, I was like, hang on, I really like my environment. I don't really have any environment goals. So I just wrote, live in London for more time. Spiritual, I want to continue doing my weekly energy readings on my Instagram. I just get so much joy from doing that, and everyone that I've done it on has said that it's been super accurate. So I'm just like, oh yeah, just keep going, give people what they want. Also, my intuition has been yelling at me to sing, learn how to sing. And I kid you not, this December month I have met like 20 people that are in theatre or that are in bands and that sing. Like the closest people to me right now, they are all like very musically inclined and talented. I'm like, oh damn, like universe has got a clear message for me. Like I need to start singing. So who knows, maybe this will turn from podcast to Spotify singing channel. We'll see. Then I also want to practice my affirmations like every day. My beautiful friend Nat, she does this thing where she has a reminder on her phone that goes off every 2 to 3 hours saying, I'm a multimillionaire. I'm like, whoa, that's cool. So I'm going to start doing that. And by the way, she is a millionaire. So that seems legit, right? You got to just do it. You take advice from the people that are actually achieving what you want to experience in your life. So that's what I'm going to do. Relationships. And I kind of use this pillar as like relationships and the way that I relate in life to money, the way I relate to my body, the way I relate to myself, and then also to other people. So I wrote down like, continue being myself and embracing my authenticity, because I feel like I am doing that. Now, I have discovered I have a new identity that I'm stepping into. And I was speaking with Nat the other day and I was like, I feel like I'm a magician. And she's like, yeah, you should start claiming that. So guys, I am a magician. I am a manifesting magician. And I think a lot of my branding will be about that next year rather than just like mindset coach. Because I was kind of using, I'm a mindset coach for a cop out. But I don't think I'm actually more like mindset. I'm more energetics and how to manifest, because that's something I'm really, really freaking good at. So I'm a manifesting magician mentor. I'm still figuring out the name, but you get the gist. And then I also wrote down just continuing to like develop a loving relationship with money. That's something that I think has been maybe not my karma, but in my ancestral lineage programming that I have received as a young kid. And I think that's just normal, like a normal program that a lot of society kind of adapts and merges with when they're young, especially if your family watches the news and things like this, like, oh my gosh, like that stuff will reprogram the shit out of you. So yeah, like I am just going to focus on developing a better relationship with money, like the way I speak about it, and know that like it's always going to come to me. If I ask for it, it will come. Like it's all good. And then also continuing to love my body, and I think that will just continue to grow over time. Like I've fully leveled up with that this year, and I think that will just keep expanding and just blossoming. And I think that's really, and also just continuing to expand my ability to communicate how I'm feeling, what I want, and making sure that I ask for what I want. So they're my goals for those categories that I spoke to you all about. But just take your time to write down like a couple of goals for each, maybe 3 to 5 that are really important to you, and making sure that they're coming from this place of like, okay, why is this inspiring to you? Why is this in your heart? You know, it's your path, rather than, oh, I need to do this because it needs to satisfy a need of something I don't have already. Like I know that I will easily achieve most of those things there, and that if I don't achieve them, that some of them maybe aren't for me. So it's kind of just like non-attached, but also just a few ideas that can help me have a little bit of direction coming into this new year. And then what you're going to do after you write your goals down, for each one, you're going to write maybe 3 to 5 ways you can make that happen. Okay. And this is going to be fun. So you're going to just brainstorm a couple of ways that you can get these things to happen, or what you must do. And some of them you might not know what you need to do to make them happen. And that's okay. Know that sometimes we're not meant to know just yet. So just trust, and for the ones that you do know what you need to do, write those things down so you've got some action steps to take. And what you're going to do once you have those action steps is you're going to split them into 2 categories. List of things that you need to do in 2024, or at least at the start of the year. And then you're going to write a list next to it saying list of the universe's things to do, or the list of God's things to do, or list of whomever you believe in's things to do, higher power. Because at the end of the day, you can't actually get all those things done yourself, and a lot of things you might not actually be able to control. So how about you surrender these tasks potentially to the universe and allow the universe to work for you? So for example, if you need things to be settled, or you're waiting on other people, write that down on universe's list of things to do, that like you are approached by this opportunity or new job, or your lover comes to you in an unexpected way, or whatever your goal is, right? Let's say lose weight, okay, and you don't have a personal trainer, you know nothing about training or nutrition. Okay, the universe's list of things to do is to help me find a trainer that is going to help me achieve my goals and help me feel and experience life at my highest timeline. Cool. So that way you're not wasting time going to find a trainer, because the universe is going to help them find you. Okay, so that's just a simple example of that. Or if you're wanting to get more clients, okay, well, your job could be you post more on social media and you DM people or you reach out or whatever. Okay, and then the universe's list of things to do could be making sure the algorithm works in your favor so that the posts that you're posting are reaching your audience and your clients that need you. Okay, so that is just an example of how you can do that list. So step number 1, ritual for saying see you later to the year that was once before us, that once was. Number 1 is saying goodbye to it by writing it a letter. Number 2 is writing a list of things you want to let go of. Oh yeah, and by the way, you're going to rip that list up and you're going to burn it. Yeah, burn it to the ground and bury it or whatever, chuck it in the bin. But do some sort of like spiritual woo thing, because, oh my gosh, it's so symbolic and it's just so fun. So go do that. Go burn it up. That just also, if you're in Australia, be careful as well. But yeah, go do something with that whereby it's like symbolic of releasing it, letting it go, burning it up, tearing it up, whatever is safest and easy for you. Number 3 is then you're going to write down your wheel of life and the things that you want to experience in this new year in each category. So like I said, the categories are fun, physical health, mindset, personal development, environment, career, finances, relationships, and spiritual. Write 3 to 5 goals for each. And then what you're going to do is write 3 to 5 ways that you can achieve those goals, or action steps that you can take to progress towards that thing that you want. And then you're going to split those action steps into lists of things that you can control and do. And then you're going to also delegate another list on the other side to things that the universe can do and control for you. Okay, so that is my ritual, guys. That is my ritual for saying goodbye to 2023 and saying hello to 2024. What you can also do, I know a lot of people get around this, especially if you're visual, is doing a vision board of some sort. So I like making mine on Canva, and I also really like making AI art actually of the images and the visions that I have of myself and what I want to achieve. The other day I made AI art of me speaking on stage and signing autographs. So anything is possible, and I just want to let you know that is a huge statement. If you do this, this is a huge statement for saying goodbye and saying hello to new doors and new opportunities of your highest timeline, committing to that new version of you. And if you want a bonus step, so first bonus is doing a vision board. Second bonus would be to write a commitment letter to yourself. So this letter will sound like, imagine yourself going through 2024 and you experience a setback or something challenging. That future version of you, I want you to write to them and share with them why they shouldn't give up. Okay? Why shouldn't they give up in that moment? Why should they keep going? Why should you keep going in those tough times that could potentially be ahead? Write that commitment letter to yourself and then hang it up somewhere. Read it every day. Like I said in my other episode on 23 lessons for 2023, I did a bonus lesson at the end, and it's something like your words are spells, but I don't want to tell you all of it because it's a secret. You got to listen to the whole episode. But yeah, so that is my advice there. Shall I tell you one more time? Let's tell you one more time. Okay, so step 1 is goodbye letter. Step 2 is letting go. Step 3 is wheel of life goals. Step 4 is action steps to the goals. Step 5 is splitting the goals and action steps into what you can do, what the universe can do. Bonus step, vision board. Bonus step 2 is a commitment letter for potentially when times get challenging or you want to give up in the new year, okay? This is why you should keep going, why this is important to you to achieve, okay? When you know your why, you will keep going. It's so important to know that. That is my episode on New Year's resolutions and how to set them and how to let go of the past to embrace the new and the future. Let me know if you enjoyed this episode. This is always a pleasure to be here with you and share what I have learned and what has helped me along my journey. If you think that one of your family or friends, someone that you know would enjoy this episode too, please feel free to share the app with them. And also if you would like to screenshot it and share it to your story, I mean, that always helps grow my community as well, because the more people that listen to this, well, the better conversations and connections that we can have with literally everyone on this planet. So I love you all so, so much. I am so excited for this new year. It's a new year, the Chinese calendar of the dragon, and baby, I'm a dragon. So let's go. I can't wait to just continue on this journey with you all. Like I said, I'm so grateful for every single one of you for staying here with me along this journey. It's been a very challenging year, and also at the same time, I wouldn't change it for the world. It's been at the same time very beautiful, and wow, like my life is literally a movie, and that's what I keep telling myself, because maybe, like your words are spells, it might just happen. So lots of love, fam.
Thank you for being a part of the Generation Elevation community. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to leave a 5-star rating, written review, share, and tag me on Instagram at elise.riley. Until next time, keep loving, keep learning, and keep rising.